Greetings and sun salutations, everyone. Day 2 of the Anti-Bitch Challenge. The first part for me is going to be writing out, creating a yoga flow, recording it, and uploading it. Today, I definitely want to focus on patience and the prosperity that takes you. Have the other video up there. Let's see. Anything else of note? The other part of the challenge. You pick something physically that you want to do, and then a spiritual or mental task, and you do them every day. Just to demonstrate that you are in control of your mind, and no matter what obstacles present themselves, whatever time punches, you put yourself up underneath, you're able to work through and do. Right next to me is my lovely wife doing her challenge, a little bit out of the frame. So yeah, we're here together, doing these things together, making it a point to not be bitches together. What more can I say? Again, the sound quality will have its upgrade soon. Want to get me looking to one of those mics, or at least having those maxes. As you see, my hair is still flossing right now, so I don't want to put the headphones directly over it without the do-rag. Yoga and vanity definitely may not go together, but what does go together is the breath. So thank you for being patient with me as we begin this talk, as we begin this space. So let's just take a quick moment to arrive on the mat. We're going to be flowing for about 15 minutes today. Again, it's a 15-minute minimum for what I'll be doing. Worked out already. So this is going to be a very calming pose, at least in theory. So arrive on the mat and think about patience. Who's been patient with you in your life? Who might you struggle to be patient with? No judgment, but simply observe. To recognize that everything needs patience to grow. Time might not exist. Physical time might be something that you wrestle with as a concept, but patience is a concept that we all can use. We can all be gentle with ourselves as we simply take a deep breath in and exhale it out. Taking a big breath in, allowing your lungs and diaphragm to fill with air, breathing into your side bodies, and exhaling out. Shoulders. One more big breath in. Exhale it out. Let's meet at a tabletop position, cat-cow pose. As we were saying before, it's your first time joining. Cat-cow pose. Real important things are to have a very strong foundation. So you want to push your tabletop, your toes down into the mat. Your arms nice and wide, your collarbones wide. And when you inhale, you want to arch your back and look up while your eyes will be looking up. Trying to dig deep into the mat. I have a lot more padding than I did today, so this won't be as troublesome for me. Just posing up in here. Go to the mat, inhaling in, looking up. When you exhaling, grounding your back, middle part of your back, trying to get into that thoracic spine. And on the inhale, you're looking up. On the exhale, you're energetically moving your hips towards your elbows. Other cues you can work towards over time as your elbow creases towards the front of the room. At the beginning, it's always worth it to try to not do too much. As you just get your body here and round. So you can breathe, inhale and exhale in the same pose. Breathe, inhale, and exhale, release. So be here for 2 more breaths. Keeping your knees hip width apart and your hands shoulder width apart. So that's the key of a very strong foundation in cat-cow pose. 1 more deep breath. And we're going to draw our belly in on this next inhale. And our neck and spine will form a straight line as we go into our tabletop balancing move. Our bird dog. We're going to extend our right hand up and our left leg back, or whatever you choose to start with. And you want to begin to have the bicep by the ear, the leg, the spine, the neck, and the arm are one straight line. And you're keeping your knees and your hips hip width apart. So we're going to stay here and hold it. And release and come down. Go to the other side, drawing the belly in on the inhale, lifting the opposing arm and leg. So if your left arm is up, the opposing arm, or your opposing leg is your right leg. Be patient with yourself. Taking a big breath in, drawing the belly in and releasing. Doing that again on the other side. Keeping the straight line. Inhaling in, exhaling down. We're going to inhale in and exhale down. We're going to come back and push back into child's pose from here. Again, we're not doing too much with this pose. Remember, with child's pose, you want to be able to place your hands onto the mat and work towards pushing your glutes, your cheeks, your sandy cheeks towards your ankles. You can let your head rest. You can massage your third eye if you're into that, or just simply allow all the worries and the anxiety of the world release. So you inhale and exhale. We'll come up to a nice seated pose. We're going to do our seated forward bend pose, our Prachittanasana, Prachimottanasana. Sanskrit is something I'm going to be practicing over the course of this month, because you will be struggling. Essentially, a seated hamstring stretch. We're going to bend forward. So many ways you can get into this. Straighten out your legs. Try to keep them level, of course. But you can inhale your arms up from the side. And exhale, release. And allow your hamstrings to simply be active, but not doing too much. Again, our theme for today is patience. So on the inhale, you can breathe in. And exhale. Just try to patiently crawl forward a little bit more in your gentle pose. And not too much activation, but you're keeping yourself grounded. You want to release your head and the tension around your neck. Again, breathing, inhaling, and slowly exhaling forward. You're doing great. So you want to sit up high, your sit bones, and have your hands reaching towards your feet if you can do that. So if you're looking at me, to see how you're doing, that's fine. Another thing you can do is try to keep your feet together, and eventually over time, you might be able to get your elbows towards the mat. Remember, everybody's body is different, so be patient with yourself. So we'll hang out here for another breath or two. And we're going to go to bound angle pose, or Baddha Konasana. Butterfly pose is what it's often called. Whew. That boy's groin is quite tight today. Not that anybody asked, but I'm going to share that. So you want to bring your heels together, and you want to be strong with your sit bones, and lean forward. Shout out to Tony Horton for saying you're trying to reach forward like a hinge, and not just simply dumping it all in there. If you want more out of the stretch, you can push your elbows in on each side and simply allow them to come down. But nice and patient in this beginning. We're here in Philadelphia. It's a pretty humid day. Got the fan on. Because I'm the fan. Gotta be the biggest fan. Keep breathing. Please breathe. We will work our way to one round of sun salutation. We come to stand however is natural for you. Tadasana mountain pose. So again, I'm a little bit taller than the frame. So we're going to start a mountain pose standing straight up. And then we'll inhale into chair pose. Chair pose, you want to hinge your hips back. We're only going to be doing this one time today. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Halfway lift as in halfway come up. Hang out here. You're going to step back into a plank pose and lower down for chaturanga and an inhale. So lowering down is simply pushing yourself back. And on the inhale, you're coming up for upward facing dog. So upward facing dog, your hips are going to be grounded into the mat as much as you can. And you're working for full extension over time while keeping your hips grounded. So the flexibility from your spine is the key, most important thing here. Then you're going to exhale in a downward facing dog. What makes a good downward dog is a strong foundation of our head being heavy, and we're imagining a string pulling our tailbone up into the sky, keeping both your hands planted in this down dog. So we're going to look up, swing our foot forward, come into warrior one. We're turning our back foot down on a 45-degree angle, coming down into chaturanga plank, inhaling up for upward facing dog, exhaling for downward facing dog, swinging the other foot back through, turning the other foot down for 45-degree angle for warrior one, exhaling down, coming back, inhaling up for upward facing dog, downward facing dog, walking our feet up to the top of our mats, inhaling, halfway lift, exhaling forward fold. Hang out here because we're going to be inhaling in the chair. Hanging out here for a couple of breaths. And exhaling to Tadasana mountain pose. So you might feel a little bit more warm now. We're going to take another seated forward fold where we're going to allow ourselves to fold from the hips and keep our legs straight or slightly bent, whatever is accessible to you. You can rock back and forth. My personal favorite is to step and walk it out on my feet. You're just allowing all the tension from the day, all the thoughts from your head to be guided by your heart. As I will often say, these are one of the few times where your heart is above your head. So patiently listen to not only what your brain is saying, to what your heart is saying as well. And your instincts and your intuition, your core, your soul. Patiently listen. We can listen. How do we patiently listen? Last inhale and exhale. We'll find our seat. We're going to try a rabbit pose. A little bit of an inversion, advanced inversion. We'll just see what you can do. So to begin, you want to lift your hips around the spine as you get in cat. And rest your head on the ground and reach for your ankles. If you have tight hips, you might feel it in your psoas. So we'll be here for about a breath or two. Rabbit pose. Sasangana asana. I'm getting there. And be on your back. Relax. We're going to come towards the end of our very brief cool down practice or warm up practice, depending on what you're using it for. We're going to go into Jathasana, Parivarasana, aka seated spinal twist. So the key for this is that you want to make sure your shoulders are kept on the ground. As you lay flat, you bring your left leg, in this case, up towards your chest. Right hand on the outside of your left leg, and gently move it towards the floor. Working to keep your shoulder down, the opposite shoulder down, as you rotate over. Try to not feel any strain on your neck. You place it on the mat and simply allow gravity to open up. On the inhale and on the exhale. Breath is important to relaxation. If you're not relaxing, you're not truly allowing your body to stretch. The nervous system needs to be reset. So if you see on this side, my leg is up in the air, you can grab a block, a roller, something that you can get your hands to the ground or your knees to the ground, or simply bring your other leg in. That's another option as well if you have tighter hips. We'll come back to neutral. Inhale, stretch out. We'll inhale our right knee to our chest. Place our left hand on the outside of our right knee while keeping our right shoulder down. As we look over, we allow our body to simply relax. If it's too much strain on your neck, you can look in the same direction as the bent leg. And the longer you stay here, the longer gravity will assist you in bringing your knee to the ground. So in this instance, sometimes we can sacrifice the foundation and the patience of our pose by trying to get our knee on the ground and our shoulder gets uplifted. Work to keep that shoulder grounded and allowing the natural gravity work your hips towards the mat or to the concrete or to the earth that we all inhabit. Now last but not least is Happy Baby pose. Well, our Piltleman pose. Piltleman means second to last. We're going to be Happy Baby feet, Happy Baby pose. Ananda Balasana. We'll grab our feet, open our knees slightly wider than the shoulders, and we'll relax our head and neck on the ground. Be here like a little happy baby. So the point of the pose, you can work toward get your tailbone towards the ground. It's not like pushing and trying to bulge your eyes out. It's a little happy baby, allowing the energy from the hips to move. You can beat your legs in circles, egg beat them. And we'll just be here, hang out. What time is it? All right, we'll lay back in Shavasana. Stay here. We're on a longer Shavasana. Stay on the mat. It's the most important pose. Pause the tape, hang out here for a minute or two. Allow everything from the pose and the flows to come to you as it comes to you. We're going to go over to our right side. Inhale up. And cross-legged. Thank you for practicing with me on the second day.